Okay.
Okay, good. So I told you that we are going to start with the first lesson. Actually, I'm going to complete the whole unit today. We will revise the whole unit today. The first one was Introduction to Ecology. We'll just revise the vocabulary terms. First thing, I will explain you all the vocabulary terms. Next, I will give you 5 minutes time. You will just write these vocabulary terms on a white paper. Like every lesson, you will have one page. Understood?
Yes.
Like example, girls. Second, let me show you. See here, girls. Like example, this is a paper. Take the paper here, white paper.
Okay.
Hold it. If you want, you can staple it. If you want, you can just put, pierce and put some ribbon. You have lesson 1, lesson 2, lesson 3, lesson 4. This is of unit 1. Then again, you have 1, you have 2, you have 3, and you have 4. This is of lesson 2. Understood? This way you'll complete the whole unit. Got my point?
Okay.
Yes.
Yes.
Completed the whole unit today, you will send me in the group. This is what we are doing in the revision.
Okay. Okay.
Okay, girls, 1 second. So let me just, they are very easy vocabulary terms. Okay. And I don't want you all to, because you have exams, you cannot spare time just for making this. We will do this during the class. Okay. So the first one is ecology. We will discuss ecology. We'll discuss biotic factor, abiotic factor. See, every time when it ends with GY, that means it is the study, like biology, study of, bio means living, study of living things. Ecology means study of how organisms interact, that is ecosystem, with one another and with the environment. This is the how they interact with one another and with the environment. This is the ecology. Now, what is biotic factor? Next to biotic factor, you can just write down living thing. Next to ecology, we'll just write down study of organisms with the environment. That's enough. No need to write interact and everything. Are you able to understand what I'm saying? Better you all sit with
Yes.
the books. Ecology is the study of how or study not interact, okay, with one another and with the how study of organisms and environment. Enough, that is that study of organisms and environment. When I say biotic factor, you will say they are nothing but living things. When I say abiotic factor, you will say they are non-living things. Now here, all organisms rely on non-living environment for survival. That is abiotic factor. You can write down any example you like. Rocks are there, minerals are there. Now coming to population, community, and ecosystem. If I say population first, see girls. First come the population. I'll try to connect my tab and explain you by drawing. Give me a moment, please. Anyone who can say me what is population? Am I talking about many animals or one kind of animal?
A group of the same species.
I'm just talking about same species, same animal, live in same place. Like example, when I say population, I will only count zebras, number of zebras in one place. I will not count the other animals. Okay, they are closely related. They are closely related. Sometimes some animals they don't look alike, but they are same species. Even that can be counted. Like example, you have alligators and you have, different crocodiles, and all these are same kind of species. So it's okay. I can count them. So that is one kind of population. But when I say about communities, communities will have many populations in that. Many populations will join. Many different populations will join, and then they will become a community. Community is made up of all population of different species that live and interact in an area. The species in a community, they depend on each other for many things, such as they depend on shelter and they depend on food. The herons shown here get energy and nutrients by eating other organisms. Organisms in a community also compete with each other for resources. If they are in a community, they are actually fighting for the resource. They want their resource, just as population do of a population. So this is what we studied population and community. And lastly here, what is an ecosystem? It's a community of an organism and their non-living organism. Not only organisms, even non-living. Okay. But when I say about population, it's a group of individuals of same species that live in same place. It's only species that live in a same place. So it's living and non-living. In ecosystem, organisms and the environment exchange energy and other resources. All abiotic and biotic factors make up an ecosystem. When I say about ecosystem, it means both biotic and abiotic factors. When I'm talking about ecosystem, it's both biotic and abiotic factors. Coming to next here. Biomes. What are biomes? It's a large,
Area.
that's not small countries or cities. They are large areas which you can, differentiate between their climates. Like you say, these are wet climate, these are dry climate. So what are the major biomes? You have tropical rainforest, tropical grassland, your temperature grassland, desert, temperature deciduous forest, temperature rainforest, taiga, and tundra. These are land biomes. So, what is a niche? Every individual or population have this specific role. Okay, when I say about niche, that means the abiotic condition under which this individual can survive. Like example, the niche of a polar bear, if I talk about. Of course, it likes to live in snow or its body. They are habituated to live in snow. So its niche is snow here. So one part of shark population niche is eating fish. You know that shark population, what are their niche? What are their likes like? Eating fish. What is a habitat? Habitat from the beginning. When you remember H, habitat, that means the place to live, their home. Their home is habitat. The last one we have already discussed. So now girls, please take the paper, bring the paper. I'll give you 2 minutes time. Go and bring the paper, write all the vocabulary terms quickly.
Okay.
I'm done. I sent it to you.
Did you write all of them? Ecology, biotic factor, abiotic factor. population, species, community, ecosystem, biome, habitat, nature. Finish writing, girls?
Yes.
Good. Others, I'm waiting for your message. Miran, Noor.
Miss, I just sent it to you. You saw it.
Okay.
To you, not in the group.
Okay. Can I go to another lesson?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay. Roles in energy transfer. Whenever I say energy transfer, the first thing what must come to your mind is food chain. It's transferred to food chain or food web. So by now you must be perfectly knowing about producers, plants, decomposers. They feed on dead animals, or okay, they use they feed on dead animals and they decompose. They feed on dead material. Consumers are the one who eat producers, or they eat plants, or they eat animal. Herbivore, herb. When I say herb, that means plant eating animals, or plant eating human, or plant. Those who eat only plants are called as herbivores. Carnivore, only meat, only mutton, only chicken. Omnivore, those who eat both plants and animal, like us, like bear. A food chain, you know very well how the food chain is, only with one arrow, only in one direction. When I say about food web, it's with connected to many food chains. Again, girls, producers are also called an autotrophs. They make own food. Decomposers such as fungi, they break down the remains of other organisms. Consumer that eat other organisms. Herbivore that eat only plants. Carnivore eat other animals. Omnivore eats both plants and animals. Scavengers are special, they eat only dead animals. Coming to food chain, it's a path, shows arrows where energy is transferred from producers to consumers. They show the plant is eaten by this animal, then an arrow mark is eaten by. And this is a food web where you have so many connections, you have so many feeding relationships among organisms in an ecosystem. This is all about food web. So did you understand? Herbivore, plant-eating animals. Carnivore, the one who consume the animals. And omnivore, those who consume both plants and animals. That's it for this lesson. Please note down the vocabulary terms again of the second lesson. Just write the lesson name there. Roles in energy transfer, and write down producers. Draw a simple leaf there so that you know that it's a plant. Decomposer. Write an example there. Mushroom. Consumer. We are consumers. Then we have herbivore, carnivore, omnivore.
Miss, can I go to the bathroom?
Sure. Lesson 3 is about carrying capacity, immigration. The word immi and emigration you need to know. Immigration, when people are migrating in emigration when they are leaving, emigration when they are leaving to some other country, or and immigration is when they are coming into some country. Okay, like example, I am leaving, so I'm saying I'm emigrating. And when you are going that country where you are going in, you are saying I'm immigrating. I-N-E. And competition, you all know very well what is the meaning of competition. They can compete for food, they can compete for maid, they can compete for shelter. Animals, when they have same choice of food, they fight for food, they fight for their shelter, they fight for the place. And what is cooperation? In cooperation, you remember last year we studied on mutualism, how one of the, what do you call as, one of the animal is affected and the other is not affected. I think we have here in no, that was symbiosis.
This host and parasitism.
Yes?
Host and parasitism.
I cannot hear you, my dear. Can you be loud?
Host and parasitism.
No idea, dear. Tell me again.
Host and parasitism.
You're telling me the example about that. Yeah, parasitism, and that's what. Correct, yes. You must always say two examples to show that it is mutualism or parasitism or commensalism. Anyways, girls.